Well, in your opinion, what should we begin to do? Because I know the West Coast and, all the way up the Pacific Northwest is getting the brunt of this, just from the wind patterns. But the idea is that it infiltrates the food chain. It spreads through all kinds of vehicles, livestock, eating the grass, blowing in the wind, getting into the water, everywhere. So what should we do? I mean, better to prepare and not have a crisis than to have a crisis and not be prepared. It's over with then. So what should we do?
If we can change our lifestyle just slightly to include really delicious smoothies, and that's it, with the right ingredients that are all super-duper nutritious, we can score a big, big gain all the way around, because it doesn't just stop with protecting us from radiation poisoning. That's the first thing. Second thing we can do is to select foods low in the food chain. Delicious tasting foods. Just go to more vegetables and fruits. And that when you get to the animal food, just make sure they're from uncontaminated sources, like I already mentioned. Those are simple things that everyone can do. Like, for example, I buy my cheeses from Europe or from the East Coast, and they're delicious. The French cheeses on their western border are completely uncontaminated, and there are many countries in Europe that are that way. So enjoy your pizzas, but make it yourself. And if you live on the West Coast, don't go out and use the local bought stuff. Those are simple things we can do. We can keep a really positive attitude as we educate ourselves that we know what we're doing and that we're making our entire family healthier all the way around. That should give people a level of not only motivation but a sense of accomplishment, that they're really doing something positive for their families. So we can use this crisis and bend it in our favor by just knowing some simple things that we can do.
And now once it gets into your system, I presume there are methods for detoxifying the body. I know that Dr. Teresa Dale will be with us in a little while, and she has some techniques for doing this. And are you aware of some as well?
Yeah, she and I have lectured together, and she's got a great simple product that is able to neutralize a lot of the symptomatology of it. What I'm specializing in complements hers. I specialize in regenerative medicine, but something that can scale and is affordable for everyone. So I like to use whole foods that are known as superfoods. These superfoods, in my definition, actually regenerate the body. They have certain things in them that turn on healing repair at very, very high speeds, or they turn on healing repair that otherwise would not be turned on. So in the case of radiation poisoning at low levels, they just sit in the system and burn and burn and burn 24/7, 365 at such a low level that they're doing damage, but the immune system doesn't recognize that it's there. So by taking things as found in mushrooms and whey products and fruits and vegetables, our immune system wakes up, and it finds these critters in there that aren't supposed to be there, whether it's a germ or whether it's a toxin or whether it's a radioactive particle. The immune system's got to be involved, and it's got to be doing surveillance. And then once it's identified, it grabs it up and takes it out of the body, and we can assist it with these different kinds of nutritional tools. And again, John, it's really easy. Just throw about 4 or 5 things together in a blender, and you're done. And it's good tasting.
Now, you realize there's somebody sitting around in a Harley jacket saying, this guy's got to be kidding me, man. He's telling me I'm going to be de-radioactivized if I just drink a darn smoothie? And the answer is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy. I mean, even if you don't eat breakfast, you can do it for lunch and dinner, and make it chocolate, make it strawberry. Make it so it tastes great, and build out some muscle in the meantime. And in the mid 1990s, when I first looked at what this radioactivity was doing, there was an ongoing cover-up that was much more enormous than what we have going on here, because we have free press and like coast-to-coast radio. But the Soviets at that time out of Chernobyl made it illegal for any reports to come out. So we have a free press that can counter that. But as a result, they had those whole areas are still devastated today. You can see pictures on the web. It's just they're just devastated if you look, especially in Belarus. And those generations used to have 90% of their children healthy, and now less than 20% are healthy. If you're living in that area and you have 5 kids and 4 of them are deathly ill,
oh, that's awful.
It's awful, and that's what's happened. Well, we can prevent that. We can stop. That took over 20 years altogether for it to completely roll out. We can intervene now. We're very fortunate to be here in America because we can afford certain things that are cost-effective, and we can get out in front of this thing now. And on top of that, it's just plain good for us. So, and again, with Teresa Dale coming up shortly, together with regenerative medicine that we do in the kitchen, we can really turn this thing around. There's no reason why we can't.